that the desperate Duchess of Delusion went for the Amazon boss Jeff Bezos. And of course, it's for professional reasons, you know.
Most richest man in the country, and, you know, wants him to help her become a billionaire herself, which you could easily say.
Whether people admire her drive or question her public choices, commentators often note that Meghan appears highly deliberate in her actions. Observers suggest little seems spontaneous, with decisions shaped by planning, positioning, and long-term strategy rather than chance. Those who have followed her journey for years frequently describe her as ambitious and intentional in how she navigates elite spaces. Rather than seeking casual visibility, she has been associated with influential networks across media, wealth, and power. From this viewpoint, meeting Prince Harry was not seen merely as a personal turning point, but as a moment that rapidly elevated her global profile. It placed her in an entirely different sphere of influence, one that brought unprecedented attention and opportunity.
These parties, you do not sign it. You're a VIP. If you've got to make people sign documents, you don't get into Jeff Bezos's house. This was someone's home. It was a very, very private place. It just was ridiculous. Oprah didn't sign a document. Beyonce didn't sign a document. There was no documents there. So Meghan and Harry.
From the outset, observers suggest she appeared confident and purposeful in how she approached the relationship. Commentators have noted that she seemed well-informed about royal life, presenting herself with clarity and intention rather than uncertainty. Those close to the situation have described her as attentive and emotionally supportive, qualities that resonated strongly with Prince Harry at the time. Their connection was often framed as one built on understanding, encouragement, and the appeal of a life less constrained by tradition. To many, it represented a meeting point between Hollywood confidence and royal vulnerability. After the wedding, the global attention intensified. With titles, visibility, and constant media focus came new pressures. Analysts argue that maintaining relevance became an ongoing challenge, with public statements and appearances closely managed to sustain engagement. As one frequently quoted observation puts it, the concern was never criticism itself, but fading from public view. For commentators who track her public moves, this perspective is often used to explain the consistency and calculation behind her media presence over the years.
Meghan appeared to have a British accent?
We all had a great day, I think.
I'm sure we did.
The sun was shining for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, very lucky all around. Today almost, yes.
Yeah.
Commentators often point to Meghan's podcasts, books, interviews, and brand ventures as part of a broader effort to stay visible in a competitive media space. Strategic partnerships and selective associations are frequently cited as key to that approach. Industry observers have also mentioned reported interest in a potential collaboration with Amazon and Jeff Bezos, which, if realized, could have been a major symbolic and commercial step. Outreach was said to explore media, philanthropy, and lifestyle projects. A high-profile social event hosted by Bezos is often referenced as a moment for strategic networking, where influence and opportunity naturally intersect. Whether or not outcomes followed, it underscored how access and timing play a role in modern media and business circles.
How are you?
According to commentary, something at the event appeared to shift the tone. Details were never confirmed, but multiple observers suggested the interaction felt misjudged. The suggestion was that the moment did not align with expectations or setting. Analysts noted that Jeff Bezos is known for avoiding public controversy and unpredictable media attention. Any association perceived as bringing ongoing scrutiny or instability would naturally raise concerns. Following the event, reports indicated that potential conversations and introductions did not progress further. Whatever interest may have existed seemed to fade quietly, underscoring how quickly opportunities can close when influence, timing, and perception do not align. Shortly afterward, reports suggested a clear message was delivered. Amazon would not be moving forward with any partnership discussions. There were no follow-ups, no revised timelines, and no indication of future interest. According to observers, attempts to reopen communication did not gain traction. The response remained firm and quiet, signaling that whatever momentum once existed had come to an end. The situation highlighted how decisively major corporations can close doors when alignment and comfort are no longer there.
We know Jeff Bezos is Amazon, he's connected to Amazon. And who has recently done a little, who's apparently done a little cameo.
From an analytical perspective, commentators suggested the Sussexes were ultimately seen as a high-risk association. Reports described disappointment when outreach failed to change that assessment, marking a rare moment where strategy did not deliver the desired result. At the event itself, observers noted a visible shift in tone. Interactions appeared polite but distant, with social cues suggesting the conversation was winding down rather than deepening. Attempts to re-engage did not seem to alter the dynamic. Industry watchers often describe such moments as decisive. In elite business and media circles, hesitation is usually an answer. What may have seemed like opportunity instead became a clear signal that the door had quietly closed. Observers noted that Prince Harry appeared to sense a change in tone and suggested moving on, but Meghan remained focused on the conversation. Commentators described her as determined to make the most of what she saw as a rare, high-stakes opportunity. According to analysis, she shifted the discussion toward philanthropy, mental health, and media concepts, touching on familiar themes around storytelling and social impact. At some point, the exchange reportedly moved from casual conversation into a more direct pitch. Those watching said the response remained polite but reserved. In elite business settings, such restraint is often interpreted as hesitation rather than interest. As the interaction continued, the atmosphere reportedly grew quieter, signaling that expectations and reality were no longer aligned. Observers note that the event was typically low-key, with strict norms around networking and behavior. Commentary suggests that the Sussexes' presence may have shifted perceptions, with some reporting that the interaction moved from potential opportunity to a higher risk assessment. Why the next day? Reports indicated that Amazon decided not to pursue further discussions with the Sussex brand. Analysts framed this as a quiet, definitive decision, highlighting how quickly access and opportunities can close in high-profile corporate environments. For those watching the situation unfold, the development underscored the gap between expectation and outcome, and the challenges of navigating complex social and business networks at that level.
Yes, I'm always nervous on occasions like that. Then he said, "So am I." I said, "Really?"
Commentators note that in high-profile corporate settings, ambition without alignment can be seen as risky. Reports suggest that while Prince Harry tried to offer reassurance, the outcome made it clear that the opportunity had closed. Observers describe the moment as a reminder of how quickly access and momentum can shift, emphasizing the importance of timing, perception, and strategy in elite business and media circles, industry that moves on faster than a viral TikTok trend. And losing Bezos, that's like being unplugged from the source of future-proof influence. She begins pacing, analyzing every detail, replaying every moment. Convinced someone sabotaged her or misunderstood her or failed to see the potential. But observers report that the Sussexes made multiple attempts to follow up after the event, including emails, messages through contacts, and calls. Despite these efforts, there was no response. Commentators note that in high-level corporate settings, decisions are often final and communicated quietly. Analysts describe this as a reminder that some opportunities close without confrontation, reflecting the strict boundaries and forward-moving pace of elite business environments.
In an extravagant ceremony in Venice, Italy, June 27th, cap off the weekend of wedding festivities with a PJ-themed bash for their guests.
According to observers, after the news about Amazon, Meghan reportedly spent the following hours reviewing the situation at Montecito. Commentary suggests the reaction highlighted the pressure public figures face when opportunities do not go as planned. Sources note that Prince Harry appeared attentive and supportive during the process, reflecting the challenges of managing both personal and professional stakes in highly visible circumstances. Analysts frame the moment as an example of how carefully curated public narratives can be tested when key partnerships or opportunities do not materialize. Bezos mansion moment frame by frame, trying to pinpoint the exact second things went wrong. Did she talk too much? Was she too eager? Did Kris Jenner whisper something afterward that shifted the energy? Did someone spread a rumor? Was Harry awkward? Did she underestimate the tone of the room? Her mind is spiraling through scenarios like a malfunctioning Netflix carousel. And then she stops, turns sharply toward Harry, and says, "We can fix this." Harry exhales the kind of sigh that says, "Here we go again." But he nods because he always nods. He's the supportive husband, loyal, dutiful, sometimes painfully optimistic, even when the situation is very obviously on fire. Meghan pulls out her laptop, opens 5 tabs simultaneously, and starts crafting a plan. The PR strategy, the social strategy, the philanthropy angle, the "we're the underdogs who persevere" storyline, the "this is just a misunderstanding" approach. She's building a whole redemption arc before Harry can even ask what's for lunch. But every plan leads back to the same obstacle: Jeff Bezos is unreachable. You can't charm your way into the inbox of, according to observers. After Amazon decided not to move forward, Meghan reportedly shifted focus to rebuilding visibility and public perception for the Sussex brand. Analysts suggest she worked through social and media channels, reconnecting with influencers, producers, and consultants to maintain engagement. Reports note that while responses were polite, they remained cautious and measured. Industry commentary highlights how high-profile efforts are often closely watched, with public attention and perception shaping future opportunities. Observers frame the situation as an example of the careful balance between ambition and discretion in elite media and business circles, showing how influence and visibility must be managed strategically. Observers note that after a series of public appearances and media efforts, reports suggest the Sussex brand encountered resistance from high-level corporate gatekeepers who prioritize discretion and stability. According to commentary, Amazon reportedly shifted its strategic focus away from celebrity partnerships, signaling a clear limitation on potential collaboration. Analysts frame the development as a reminder of how quickly access and opportunity can change in elite business circles. Industry insiders suggest that in such environments, control over partnerships is often determined by external priorities, not personal strategy. Commentators highlight that navigating these dynamics requires careful planning, resilience, and adaptability when visibility and influence are at stake. Commentators note that after the Amazon decision, reports suggest the Sussexes focused on recalibrating their public strategy. Observers describe the following morning at Montecito as a period of planning and reassessment, with attention on new initiatives to maintain visibility and engagement. Industry analysis frames this as a typical response in high-profile media circles. When one opportunity closes, attention shifts to alternative projects, partnerships, or creative efforts to sustain influence. Analysts highlight that such strategic pivots are common among public figures managing both personal brand and professional ventures in competitive environments. Reports suggest that after a high-profile setback, Meghan focused on planning new initiatives to maintain the Sussex brand's visibility and influence. Observers note she engaged with stylists, publicists, producers, and advocacy contacts, exploring ways to generate momentum and reinforce the public narrative. Industry analysts highlight that in elite media and business circles, responses to closed opportunities often involve strategic networking, outreach, and careful timing. While initial efforts received polite but cautious responses, commentary indicates this reflects standard professional discretion rather than outright rejection. Observers frame the situation as an example of how public figures navigate complex networks to maintain influence, demonstrating strategic adaptability when direct access is limited. According to sources, after receiving feedback that Amazon and its affiliates viewed the Sussexes as drawing too much media attention, Meghan reportedly shifted focus to refining the couple's public brand. Observers note she worked on messaging, visual updates, and strategic outreach to maintain relevance and demonstrate stability. Industry commentary highlights that in high-profile media circles, such adjustments are common when partnerships do not materialize, emphasizing perception management, controlled visibility, and carefully planned appearances. Analysts frame the situation as an example of how public figures navigate professional setbacks and manage public narrative while maintaining influence in competitive environments. After a high-profile setback with Amazon, Meghan and Harry reportedly focused on reassessing their public strategy. Sources indicate they explored brand refinements, strategic appearances, and selective outreach to maintain relevance and influence. Industry observers note that such adjustments are common when public figures face closed opportunities, emphasizing messaging, timing, and perception management. The situation illustrates the challenges high-profile individuals encounter when navigating partnerships, media attention, and public expectations, highlighting the balance between visibility and strategic discretion. After a missed opportunity with Amazon, Meghan and Harry reportedly took a step back to reassess their strategy. Sources suggest they focused on measured communication, thoughtful outreach, and maintaining visibility without overextending. Observers note this approach reflects the challenge of balancing ambition, public perception, and partnerships. While not every opportunity moves forward, the couple appears to be pausing to plan strategically, emphasizing careful action over immediate reaction.